Well, Alexis Roberts is not your typical basketball recruit. Like most, when she steps on the floor, she will represent her team, Jackson State, family, friends, and hometown. For Alexis, she is also representing the deaf community. She's paving the way for those who may not be able to hear, but their actions can be heard and felt by everyone when given the chance. Take one look at Alexis Roberts and you can see the potential she has as a basketball player. This month, the 6-foot forward with over 1,000 career points and 500 rebounds signed to play for the Jackson State Tigers. Her signing is historic. Alexis is the first deaf player to sign a Division I basketball scholarship in Mississippi.
I feel very excited because I am the first deaf person to do that, and it's great to make history.
Alexis was born with a percentage of hearing in both ears, but her hearing faded as she grew older. Communicating was a challenge for Alexis growing up, but at the age of 12, she was introduced to basketball, and it changed everything.
She was very to herself, didn't do a whole lot of communicating with, not even really with me as far as just communicating, but from picking up that basketball, it was everything to her. Basketball, as so to speak, gave her life.
Alexis and her family moved from Newton to Jackson to attend the Mississippi School for the Deaf, and she continued to grow as a basketball player. Jackson State noticed her on the AAU circuit in middle school and invited her to a camp when she was a sophomore.
And at camp, she was phenomenal. I mean, she was a workhorse. We put her in competitive drills against dandy dozens, against top players in the state, and she was outworking everybody. And so I said, you know what, I want you a part of my program. And that's when we offered her.
Her mother's reaction?
I was like, she must can play.
The coaches and players at JSU will take sign language courses to learn how to communicate with their new teammate, but they may have an advantage with Alexis on the team.
I'm very excited because I'm ready. I'd love to be able to teach them. I think it's going to be easy for us to communicate. It's actually easier sometimes to sign than to speak. And so it'll be a nice way to have that language, and we can just sign to each other on the court, and then people don't know what we're talking about.
Sekou White is the head coach of the MSD Bulldogs and has coached Alexis for the last 2 years. He was a deaf athlete himself, having played in college and semi-pro ball, and he believes Alexis's biggest impact will be off the court.
When she gets to JSU at that level, it's an opportunity to let the world know any deaf person can do it. You just need the hard work, but sometimes the deaf people have to work a little bit extra harder, but you can make it happen, and here is our proof. So I think that her biggest impact is really on the world.
I'm very proud. I can't even put it in words. I'm super proud.
Whether we like to admit it or not, we can easily perceive being deaf as a roadblock to greatness. Alexis has dealt with barriers her whole life, and now she's breaking them.
I actually knew that deaf people can do anything, just like any hearing people can, so it wasn't really anything different for me. It was, the only difference is I just sign with my hands, and hearing people just speak with their voice.
She deserves the opportunity to be able to play for the Division I program, not because of her situation. She shouldn't be limited to that. She should be able to receive everything else that everybody else receives, and she doesn't allow her situation to hold her back from being great.
All right, Joe Cook here with sports. The Callaway boys basketball team has received their fair share of attention and accolades, and rightly so, with their prominent alums and state titles. But the girls team is just as strong. Two players, one from the not too distant past and one from the present, share a special connection that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives.
If you commit to this game, it'll pay off in the end.
There was a special guest at the Callaway girls basketball team practice, Elisa Ross. Ross is a former Callaway guard who was a Dandy Dozen back in 2011. More than a decade later, another Callaway guard is a Dandy Dozen, Johanna JoJo Wilson. They met for the first time and talked about their special connection.
It makes my heart proud to, in so many ways, watch history repeat itself. When I did hear that she had made the Dandy Dozen list, I was proud to see another generation of a great player come through is what I have been waiting for.
Both wore number 5. Both are small guards with similar games, shooting and playmaking at an elite level. Elisa went on to play at Jackson State and sees a lot of herself in Johanna, but the younger Charger says she had to improve an important aspect of her game.
And as far as the leadership, at first I wasn't really the best leader, but I've grown to love being a leader just because I love to be able to pick up my teammates or help them in some way and then see them go out there and do it. It just makes me glad.
Both Elisa and Johanna have led their teams to a state final, but haven't gotten the gold ball. It's the one connection they don't want to share any longer.
I know that she went to the championship and she didn't accomplish it, and that's kind of one thing that I don't want us to have in common. So just to keep going to go further than her, carry the torch even further.
I believe each generation is supposed to get better. I would love to see this generation, this group of young ladies, finish what needs to be done.
Callaway head coach Ashley Sutton believes these kinds of meetings and connections says a lot about the talent that is in Jackson.
You can be a Dandy coming out of Jackson Public Schools again. You can win a championship coming out of Jackson Public Schools. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can still stay at home and do what you need to do and be successful, get to college, and everything else you desire to be in life.
The two generations of Callaway stars went at each other during practice as well, the past and the present trying to make a way for the future of the program.
So always continue to work hard, never get complacent, and always strive to be better. Every day. It's you against you. It's never you against anybody else. 1, 2, 3. Let's try. 1, 5, 6.
Well, it's been a day for Thomas Lee, a.k.a. Snacks of JSU. He had a day full of interviews from ESPN and various media outlets, and he needed some snacks for his full day of talking. Here's how Snacks went viral and bringing a lot of smiles to Jackson State.
Again, here's Snacks with 3. Snacks busted. Snacks.
Once you heard the call on JSU TV, you probably knew the video of a player named Snacks. Scoring would be a hit. But for Thomas Lee, this was a moment he was ready for.
I practice this shot probably every day, just about every day, because we play a game called swag where we spell out the letters on the swag right here. And the first person to get to the star and make it wins. So we kind of play that game like every day or every other day. So I was real confident in that shot.
But how did he get the nickname Snacks?
Coming around the team at an early age, probably about 6 to 7, mom would bring me to the games, and I kind of go around the men's basketball team, and they took me on their wing as like the little brother of the program. I often brought like snacks in, like Skittles and different things, and I would eat it in there, and as well have snacks for the players. And actually, some of the players at the time were actually coaches that own our coaching staff now.
Thomas went to Provine but didn't play in high school. He enrolled at JSU and became the team manager in 2015. Fast forward to Monday for JSU's senior night.
Yes, sir. The coach gave the team a pregame speech, telling the guys that if they really cared about me and they really wanted to see me out there, they'd go out there, make sure we get a comfortable enough march so I can get in the game. At the moment, it was unreal. I couldn't believe I actually checked in the Division I game. So my first couple of shots, they were off. I was just getting the jitters off. But I actually just kept shooting. The teammates told me to keep shooting. They wanted me to shoot the ball, and the crowd was into it. So I felt like I had to get the people what they want.
He may be known as Snacks, but after a message from an NBA superstar, he might have a new nickname already.
I actually got a retweet from Kevin Durant. He told me, "I see you, Snipe." So a lot of people started calling me Snipe now. So that's my favorite player too. So it's been wild. It's been unbelievable. From the notification, the tweets, the Instagram posts, the Facebook posts, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And Thomas also has his own music group, the Thomas and Friends Live Band, so he knows how to perform. And head coach Wayne Brent isn't leaving out the possibility that we could see Snacks again if JSU gets to host the SWAC quarterfinals. And who doesn't like more snacks? I'm getting hungry up here. A local product finds himself in Idaho making plays for the Vandals. He's also doing his part in helping eliminate COVID-19. Here's more on Jalen Hoover.
I couldn't believe it because just the distance. I'm like, how did they find me all the way down here in Mississippi?
From Northwest Rankin to Idaho, that's been the journey for Jalen Hoover. He was a standout for the Cougars out of high school, and after getting some offers, Idaho was the only major D1 program to offer him, and he took it. But there was a lot to learn about Idaho.
First time seeing snow, first time flying to the Northwest area. So it was pretty, it wasn't a time where I was really too anxious. I was just ready, honestly.
Jalen was ready to join the fight against COVID-19. He got the opportunity to work for Veterinary Medical Research and Development, a biotech company in Pullman. This summer, he worked on a team of assemblers, working 12-hour shifts to package medical testing vials used by the CDC and other medical organizations to help create COVID-19 test kits.
Our supervisor will say, you got to prepare as if it's yours or family members, But then also just taking it kind of personal and be like, well, for me to have a season, I know I got to do the best I can here. therefore it can help others. And then we can also like speed up the process of knowing, okay, how do we go forward from here?
Kick is blocked.
Jalen goes from the health field to the football field like he went from safety to corner. The rising senior had a breakout junior campaign where he led the Vandals in pass breakups. He's worked his way from the sidelines to the front lines of the pandemic, and he just wants to help as many people as he can.
A handful of players and individuals that get this opportunity to honestly make it this far, you know. So really just taking the opportunities that I have in my life and just using it the best of my ability to not only better myself, but then also better the ones behind me.
We are back with sports, and after a stellar career at MRA, it was clear that Josh Hubbard was destined to play college basketball, but he may in fact be destined for greatness. His fast rise as a freshman has forced us to slow down and pay attention to MSU's newest star.
You know, if you asked me last year that I would be a huge contribute to this team, you know, I wouldn't believe you.
Well, seeing is believing, and Josh Hubbard has been a sight to see this season. After setting state scoring records out of MRA, Hubbard has come into his own in his first season of college basketball, posting almost 15 points per game, which is second best among SEC freshmen. He has actually surprised himself.
And for me to do it, you know, just as a freshman, to have, you know, that freshman killer mentality, it doesn't seem real to myself, so.
Hubbard has performed his best in the big games with 25 points in a win over number 5 Tennessee and made clutch buckets against 8th-ranked Auburn. His teammates already expect that kind of play from him.
Don't nothing like this surprise me. You know, he's been doing that since his whole life, you know. So, you know, it's just, I expect him to do that, you know. So I like the confidence he got. You know, he come in each and every night and he give us a spark. So, you know, couldn't be more proud of him.
The MRA product is leading the SEC in three-point shots made and has won Freshman of the Week 3 times, the most since 2005 for an MSU rookie. He credits Chris Jans for pushing him in the offseason when he struggled with the transition to college basketball.
First, you know, when I came here in the summer, it was tough. Frustrating moments, you know, a lot of times I got down on myself, but he told me that, you know, it was going to be hard work, you know, mentally and physically, you know, so I just had to adjust quickly.
Coach Jans describes the young player we are seeing become a star.
Josh is just different, man. You know, he's different. I've coached some kids like him. I've coached long enough to have an opportunity to coach some unbelievable players, and he's the whole package. You know, he's got the work ethic. He's got the right mindset, the right approach. Obviously, he's proven there's no moment that's too big for him in a very young career, and he does it all with, you know, a great demeanor about him and a fun personality, and he's endeared himself to his teammates, and all the guys like him and respect him, and that's why he's able to transition, you know, the way he has and be accepted by his teammates. So I'm certainly glad he's with us.
We've seen a lot of talent from the Power 5 ranks transfer to a historically black college or university. But what if those recruits started at, say, all-corner Jackson State? The shift to considering an HBCU first could have a huge impact.
You know, players coming together to play at this level, for the culture, it would definitely bring a sense of power. It would bring a sense of dominance. It would bring a sense of togetherness. And they will understand that together we can do it.
NBA star Carmelo Anthony wants highly rated prospects like Mikey Williams consider an HBCU, and so does JSU head coach Wayne Brent, but getting that kind of talent is challenging.
When I'm talking to a kid, he thinks the Power 5 is the platform. That's his whole thing. Coach, I got to go where I'm going to get more pub, not knowing that if 3 of y'all come here, they going to come with you. The TV going to come with you. I think it's going to have to be a collective effort of 3 or 4 guys, because that one guy, it's a load that he's going to have to carry. But it's that one time that you can do it, it'll change the whole landscape of college basketball.
HBCUs have misconceptions about exposure. They do play on TV like ESPN and other outlets. They do get into the NCAA tournament and even win. Those wins are rare, but with top recruits coming to HBCUs, those wins can happen more often.
When I come into the gym to play UConn, the guarantee game, they paying me $25,000 to play them. My players are hitting the floor with the mindset that we're going to beat you, because you have that mindset. Together we can. Together we're powerful. Together we're dominant. I would like to encourage people to look more into Jackson State, to look more into your HBCUs, you know, and I want players to understand the dynamics that they have, the power that they have, the tools that they have, and wherever they go, those things will follow.
Where are we, you know, a year from now? Do we have one Power 5 kid that says it, maybe not at Jackson State, but at a you know, at Alcorn, at a Valley, at a, you know, wherever, just to give it a start. And hopefully it's not at a Valley or Alcorn, but hopefully it's at Jackson State.
A special story this evening from Jackson State University about a bond between a star basketball player and his little sister, who is a star in her own right. Sports Director Joe Cook joins us in the newsroom with a story that's all new at 6, Joe.
Thanks, Megan. That's right. Vinji Wallace of the JSU men's basketball team isn't the only big name in his family. In fact, his little sister is an Oscar-nominated actress and is his biggest supporter.
For me, it's normal. I mean, she's the same person she was, you know, before she was famous.
Jackson State senior guard Vinji Wallace has a little sister that you might have seen on the big screen.
Who the man? I'm the man.
Quavenzine Wallace was nominated for an Oscar in 2013 for her lead role in The Beasts of the Southern Wild. She was 8 years old, the youngest nominee ever.
That's huge in itself, just for like a young black actress, female actress, to get nominated for an Oscar with all those great actors at that time.
Quite a family dynamic for the Wallaces. Vinji is one of 4 siblings, but neither of them are in each other's shadow. They all support each other. His little sister was recently working on a role where she had to play basketball. Vinji, who was coming into his own towards the end of the season, was the perfect choice to be her coach.
Teach her some things, you know, show her a couple things, you know, maybe she could learn, you know, and, you know, if I see it on TV and be like, you know, I showed her that, you know, so that'd be pretty cool.
Quavenzine also supports her big brother, coming to as many games as she can, but it doesn't register to the team that she is who she is.
I asked him about his family coming to the game, and then he mentioned something about they was out of town with his sister. So, you know, sometimes you kind of forget, and then, you know, they pop up. You say, okay, yeah, I forgot his sister is a movie star.
Vinji overcame a meniscus injury and played at 3 different schools during his career, but he found a home at JSU. And for him, it's all about family.
And that's why I play. I play for, you know, my family, friends, everyone who watched me from when I first started till now.
Made you something. That's me, and that's you.
So it's like, you know, when she comes to the game, she be cheering, she be like, I'm channeling my inner, you know, her inner me. I give her like shirts and stuff, and she send me pictures of her working out in my shirts and stuff. So I mean, we always, you know, just always be together and, you know, in some type of way. So I mean, we just close.
Joe Cook here with your sports. We put the spotlight on a special player at Clinton High School. You might miss her if you try to pick her out of a crowd, but when she's on the floor, you won't miss how she impacts the game. Clinton guard Taylor Felton has been proving herself to people her whole life.
Every time you get on the court, you got to.
But it has fueled her performances. She has used that fuel to become a Dandy Dozen 3 years in a row.
I never really knew about Dandy Dozen until I got into high school basketball, so receiving it my sophomore year, I was happy. I was surprised, shocked, but I felt like I had to remain humbled and just keep the title and prove that I earned it.
The Clarion Ledger confirmed that she's the first girls basketball player to receive the honor 3 straight years. The only other player is another dynamic small guard, Callaway legend Deshaun Ruffin.
I feel like it's fun, it's different to be the smaller one on the court because you got something to prove anyway. So then when you do what you do, they're going to look at you different. You're going to get the recognition you deserve and everything.
Taylor is listed at 5'2", but she can score 30 or more points on any given night. Her playmaking and scoring ability turns heads because, well, she's a small guard, but has a big game that she has worked on constantly.
But she does a lot outside of the game, outside of practices, so you can't really give her a lot because she's already doing a lot outside of the game.
Clinton head coach Perlin Fairley has been coaching for almost 20 years, and Taylor stands out as one of her best players, not only because of her work ethic, but how she has made her a better coach.
You just have to learn how to talk to her and help her to be a better player to keep from getting hurt, because the biggest thing is she likes to get to the basket and she's small, so when they're knocking her down and, you know, putting their bodies on her and you know, tiring her out, now she has to learn to take that mid-range jumper. She has to learn how to shoot the 3 more effectively. So she just helped me to grow because I had to find different ways to make sure that she could score the basketball.
Taylor hopes she can be an inspiration to other girls who think they may not look the part but feel they can play a huge role.
I just feel like every night you step on foot, you just got to play hard. Like you never know who in the bleachers watching. Somebody can run up, somebody older, you never know. So it's always good to just look and see other people that's doing the same thing you are.